And we're back. Episode 3. Almost halfway done with the season already. As always, let me plug my brand and what we've got releasing. We've got lighters going up April 2nd, and then if all goes to plan, we will have the pepper tees going up April 16th. As you can see, we've got the lighters in hand. Check out this bad boy. Once again, releasing April 2nd. And then the pepper tees are in production, so all I can show off is the design image for that, which is right here. And then lastly, the FACADE website and Instagram will be linked in the description down below for anybody who wants to go cop or follow the IG to show support. With that out of the way, we've got a similar brand to the last one in the sense that they function using one-of-one items instead of widely produced releases. And that's really all I can tell you for now. Roll the intro.
Oh yeah!
This week's brand is none other than One Off. The owner is 22-year-old Nicholas Guy from Lansing, Michigan. Nick grew up with a wardrobe consisting of mostly thrifted pieces, not feeling a connection to any mainstream clothing. It wasn't until he got older that he started to understand fashion, eventually starting his own brand December 31st of 2019. Looking through the post, it seems the brand may have started as the Sad Thrift Store before making the switch to the now One Off. The name One Off is said to describe how Nick lives his life, one being different and off being original. With Nick being passionate about clothing for the past several years, he finally decided to try his hand at making his own pieces. He started by making DTG or direct-to-garment printed t-shirts and hoodies, and has since transitioned to using a tech pack. Nick entered the field with no prior knowledge, throwing himself in and learning the many processes that running a clothing brand involves as he went. To go off on a little bit of a tangent or expand on that using the experience that I have, I've been studying and reviewing clothing for the past couple years as a part of the content I create here, just like this video. But there's so many things that you don't notice when you're not actually creating the clothes that get in the way of you just putting out design on a piece of clothing and getting it in the customer's hands. With just that in mind, I've been kind of working on a side series that has a couple videos up now that goes into these topics in a lot more detail. Some of the things that I'm trying to cover with that series include finding a reliable printer, taking product images that accurately portray what you're selling, promoting your brand and growth in general, something I for sure need to work on, setting up a professional enough looking website, fulfilling orders, and much more. One of the biggest issues we've been dealing with lately is that we want to get multicolored design screen printed, and the process of just getting the colors separated and everything set up right and exported correctly is so much of a pain in my ass. Like, I would have never thought it'd be so difficult just to get a simple 4-color design screen printed on some shirts and then in the hands of some customers. But anyway, back to One Off. Let's go take a look at their website. Alright, so here we are over at the One Off website. As you can see, we're greeted by a lookbook on a slideshow. I think there's 3 different images. Scroll down, you have a teaser video for it and then a little description for the collection. One thing I will note, you can see on the top left hand side the One Off logo is actually chopped off. I think that's because the navigation bar with like home select and whatnot is too big. I think they recently updated it to include the lookbook tab, and that might have pushed the logo off. But also, if I do go full screen right now, this isn't full screen, it's like a little bit smaller of a window because I got other things going on in the background. But if I do go full screen, part of the word one is still chopped off, so something to look into. And then from there, I want to move into the shop so we can take a look at their items, and I want to go all the way to the bottom and start with their their oldest items, progress forward so we can kind of see their evolution. So like I said, it looks like they started off going by the Sad Thrift Store, or at least the theme of a lot of these products was this Sad Thrift Store. And a feature I do like that they have is this quick view. You see some bigger websites doing this, but not too many streetwear startups that do this. So we can take a quick look at this. $45 for a one-of-one tee. Not too bad, I wouldn't say. As far as the print goes, looks like we have a lot of puff print being used, and then this hand-painted alien globe head, which I guess this isn't too bad. Kind of giving me some CPFM vibes with the graphic and then the letters too. Maybe not as bubbly as some of their stuff. Moving forward, we have the TSTS Jean, which I'm sure stands for the Sad Thrift Store. I don't mind the bleaching or the wash, or however he went about doing this. I'm guessing some sort of bleaching, but the actual the text for the TSTS I'm not the biggest fan of. And then moving on, we have the Sunday Service Carhartt tee. Do a little quick view on this. I think this one is better than the previous ones. Obviously still has the TSTS, which I don't mind it being kind of smaller and in the corner, But I do like this cross up here. It's kind of cool. And then they have the Carhartt like crown to it almost. So not a bad piece. And then flipped over on the back, you get this big spell out. I was not expecting that. I haven't looked at the back of this yet, but I do like this. Maybe the only thing that I would do is remove the alien head. I don't think that really needs to be there. Especially worked in with everything else, it doesn't really blend. Like, you don't have any other alien themes going on. And then next up we have this chain, the Sad to Be Here Trident chain, which I think is pretty cool. I guess this is a pendant. I feel like maybe this would work better as maybe like an earring or a bracelet if you could add some curvature to it. I don't know if the pendant is maybe the best one to go with the text at least down here. Maybe if you centered it instead of having it like written one way going vertically, and then have like the letters actually going so you can read them horizontally but have them laid out vertically. Maybe that would have worked a little bit better. Add like some more symmetry to it instead of kind of having it a little bit lopsided here. Moving on, we have the You Can See Them 2T. We have this little ghost figure holding a cross, an element that we've seen before in these Sunday service ones. This time it has like a little spike on the bottom. But yeah, I think these ones on the left, these Ghosts Are My Friends, are kind of the maybe more refined progression of it. I'm not crazy about the distressing that they did on it. I feel like maybe if they just left that out, it would have looked a little bit better. But yeah, these ghosts are also kind of looking like some like sperm cells or something. And it says Ghosts Are My Friends. Once again, getting big like CPFM vibes. And then, once again, moving forward, we have, I guess we have all these different colorways. There's also this red one, which is titled the same. I guess, yeah, all of these are kind of laid out a little bit different as far as the ghosts go. As far as the text goes, this red one is really different. Might be my favorite. I kind of like it. And I think looking at the details, if I'm remembering correctly, these ghosts are actually made of a 3M material, I want to say. So they do glow kind of in the dark. And then this was done for Halloween. So pretty cool idea. Then we have the Different is Better shirt, which, I'm not a fan of this font. We've seen this font before on the earlier sad thrift store stuff. It almost looks like a bunch of stuff just kind of thrown on there. We have this Love Yourself Nike crew neck, which the heart's kind of cool. We got a little tear coming off it. I do like this font that they used a lot more. Interesting. I wonder if it's embroidered. And then on the sleeve, you have some subtle sad thrift store spell out going on. And then some custom distressing maybe, or just like paint smeared on it. I will say, once again, I'm not crazy about these just like random blocks put on the back. Fashion isn't real. Really not feeling that font that they keep using. So moving into some more text designs, we have the Ugly hoodie. It just says ugly big on it, and then you're gonna get these patches all over the place. It's all right. I like this forest green that they used. It's a cool colorway. Flower sweatpants. I'm not a fan of this kind of like box logo that they do, where it just says one off and then the plaid in the center. So pass for me. And this piece I think is actually kind of a milestone for the brand because it marks the point where they started scenes made out of fabric shaped into obviously the scene to make it up. We have a flower here and then a butterfly. So although this one is pretty rough, which you can tell just looking at it, I think it does like have an important place for the brand, and there are a lot of cool ideas going into this, but definitely being one of the earlier ones, it is a little bit unrefined. Flame hoodie, which I think the back on this one is crazy. We have the one-off box logo, which not really feeling. I'd rather just have like the centered one-off embroidered instead of the plaid box. But flip it over and then you have this World on Fire, which I swear I've seen something very similar to this, maybe one by like Travis Scott or something, but a cool idea nonetheless. And we have this Never Say Die hoodie coming in at $115, but it looks like a lot of work went into this. We have this crazy looking skull on the back. All right, next up we have the Love Me stuff. Pretty simple, just says Love Me big on it. I don't know if there's anything on the back. We can take a look at the back quick. Yeah, you got this heart with the arrow going through it. But yeah, this is really nice. You look at the back and everything looks really clean. Obviously this is a lot more simple than some of the other stuff they've been trying. Moving on from there, we have another crazy design, the Flaming Skull hoodie, which looks really clean. Once again, I think if you look up close, it looks like not too much like loose stuff hanging out, and they have a lot of overlapping fabrics, so a feat nonetheless to achieve this. Not my style with this skull kind of like luchador-esque, but I can respect these for sure. And that finally brings us to the latest collection that just released, already out of stock. We have the No Hunting Carhartt jacket. You get this Badlands Wilderness one, and then we also have the Doomsday Carhartt jacket, which I think this Doomsday one is too unrefined. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit more. We need maybe some more detailing going on, whether that's like outlining, especially looking at some of the product images, the contrast between the white skeleton and then the, I guess that's supposed to be the moon, just isn't strong enough. And yeah, I'm not feeling the Doomsday one, but the Badlands Wilderness one I do like. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and it looks like the first time they try to use these camo fabrics. If you look closer, you can see here a lot of the pieces are made up using a camo fabric. A lot of small detailing going into make up this huge scene. All right, so that's it for the shop. Like I said, we have this lookbook tab, which just showcases the latest collection, those last two pieces we went over. There's also this about tab, which I think I already spoke about, or if I have not yet, I will talk about. If you guys want to read it, the whole thing in its entirety, you can pause it and read it right now. But yeah, other than that, we just have the shipping tab, and that's really it. So let's get back to the rest of the analysis and then wrap up this video. With such a bold brand statement that builds itself on being different and original, I see a lot of comparisons to brands like Cactus Plant Flea Market. Now, if you go back to the website and read that About Us tab or whatever it was titled, I forget, it talks a lot about hating mainstream ideas, and later talking to Nick, he listed his inspiration as his hometown, purposely trying to make and create things he's never seen anybody wear. But that kind of contradicts the statement we just had about similarities between this brand and CPFM, and then we also see designs like their rendition of a box logo. Now, it's not to say that the designs aren't more on the unique side of things, but when a brand goes out of their way so heavily to associate themselves with a statement like this, I tend to view it a lot more critically. Looking back on brands that we've reviewed, things come to mind like a Headco, and then also Maintain Optimistic Beliefs as examples. I've been weary of associating brands with statements like this and have always personally felt it can harm the brand, whether that's them coming off as disingenuous, overly braggadocious, or some other unknown that just rubs somebody the wrong way. And after saying all of this, I have to emphasize that One Off does have some great designs, they have some unique ideas, and they do not necessarily fall into the category I just described as just an interesting topic that I wanted to bring up for this video, since they do strongly tie themselves to this notion of being very different. Being said that there are a lot of interesting designs, there are also a lot that look unrefined, which to an extent could be the intention of them, like we talked about when we were just looking at them. But I think over time, as Nick continues to grow as a designer, as a creator, gain more experience, we'll see a lot of these landing closer to their intended mark. That's all I've got for you guys. Feel free to leave a comment down below for the brand you'd like us to review in the next episode. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.